This is Beyond the Veil with Norman Meredith.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of Beyond the Veil with me, your host, Norman Meredith, and my co-host and producer, Ed.
How's everybody doing out there today?
I'm doing good. I'm just a little dragging today. I had a busy night on the boo-boo bus last night.
Yeah, you're going to sleep well tonight, huh?
I hope so. It seems like every couple hours I had to get up for something, call in the middle of the night. Then I'd get back, lay down for about 2 hours, and have to get up and go back again. And this was all night long. And I just did not get much sleep.
Yeah, that'll definitely mess with your circadian rhythm.
Oh, yeah. I'm looking forward to the day when I can actually either retire or I get this teaching job my company's got open.
Oh, good luck for that.
Me too. All right, tonight we're going to go back. We missed episode 95, and don't ask how Ed and I did it. We did it. So this is going to be episode 95, so they'll be out of sync. But tonight we're going to talk about cryptids in Maryland. And believe it or not, Maryland's got a nice little variety of cryptids, which surprised me. And so a little bit about Maryland. Maryland is rich in folklore, believe it or not, featuring several infamous cryptids, including the bird reptile, hybrid snallygaster, the legendary Chesapeake Bay sea monster Chessie, and the suburban goatman. Other notable creatures include the Frederick County Dewall and the ghostly blue dog of Port Tobacco. Now, the blue dog, I'm a little hesitant on because somehow or another there's a restaurant tied into that.
Yeah, and the blue dog will be in another episode, right?
No, it's in this episode.
Oh, I see pictures at the bottom of the blue dog.
Ah.
They're not up top.
Uh-oh.
We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. My bad. All right, let's talk about it. The snallygaster is the first creature we're going to talk about tonight. I don't have a lot of information on it, except it was originating in the 18th century of Frederick County, Maryland. This beast is described as a half reptile, half bird creature with sharp teeth, tentacles, and wings. Its name comes from the German Schnellgeist, which means fast ghost. And the only thing I can figure out about it is, so the next one.
Next one is right here.
Why do I am opened up the wrong folder?
There we go,
folks. I'm talking about I told you the wrong one.
And that's the show.
Tonight we're talking about cryptids of Delaware.
There
Excuse me.
All right.
Now let's get this straight. I'm talking about cryptids of Delaware tonight. That's what I get for being tired. This is episode 95, Cryptids of Delaware.
You need to go home right after this episode.
I got to do a few things in my hideaway first. Delaware's cryptids and legends, through sometimes sparse, feature terrifying swamp creatures, humanoid spirits, regional monsters. Key figures include the Shelby Swamp Monster, the mischievous Pukwudgies, I'm wearing my shirt today.
There you go.
The Erie Deer Man, and various Bigfoot sightings. The first creature we're going to talk about is the Shelbyville Swamp Monster, a legendary hairy beast-like creature reported in the swamps of Sussex County.
There we go.
Now, let me see. I don't have much on that except, it's what I get the impression on, and this may be a Bigfoot-like creature. Now, this is just a very rough drawing that would go back to like the 1800s, late 1800s, of a mysterious creature in the swamps. And we know Bigfoot is notorious for swamp-like areas. Throw up the next one I have up, Ed.
Sure, there you go.
Okay, this is a person in costume, because if you look at it, it's a really poor costume, but it's the idea of what somebody may have thought they seen in the swamps. Big ugly creature, a lot of hair, big teeth, something that looks fearsome and frightening. You know what I'm saying? And then there was one more, I think. Okay, this thing almost looks like Swamp Creature or Swamp Thing from Marvel Comics.
Kind of like the Incredible Hulk, all big and stuff.
Yeah, or is it DC Comics? It's one of the things from one of the two. But yeah, this is just one of those things I think is a misrepresentation of Bigfoot, but due to the area and locale, it's known as something different, like we always talk about when it comes to Bigfoot. They're always known as something different depending on locale. All right, we're going to give a quick shout out to Pukwudgies. They're rooted in Lenape and Winnipeg, folklore. These are small, 3-foot tall, mischievous, or malevolent, gray-skinned humanoid forest spirits rumored to haunt Delaware woods. I might have.
That's what I have as the next picture, but I don't think that's right. So it's
there we
gonna be
go.
This one.
That's a Pukwudgie.
Okay.
Then I have 2 more.
Mm-hmm. Here's another one. It's sort of the hairy version of it.
A little bit hairier version. And the Pukwudgie. And like I say, we've talked about these a lot because they've been known to be in the northeastern states, along the New England states, excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently, we're going to find more and more along the eastern seaboard. All right, the next creature we're going to talk about is the Deer Man. This is a menacing hybrid creature described as part human, part deer, adding to Delaware's dark folklore. Now, I do have a little information on this. The Deer Man generally refers to a cryptid creature in North American folklore, often depicted as a bipedal, antlered human hybrid similar to a stagman. It is sometimes associated with or confused with the Deer Woman of indigenous legend. It also refers to a 2023 book by Jeffrey Delorme about living among deer in an indie video game. A couple key aspects of the Deer Man: the appearance, usually described as having a human torso with deer legs and antlered stag head.
Mm-hmm.
The behavior accounts describe it as fast, strong, and sometimes capable of appearing and disappearing in woods. Well, that deer are fast, so that's a given. Paranormal aspects. Some reports on platforms like Reddit describe witnessing a bipedal deer-like creature in rural areas. Cultural significance, sometimes associated with Celtic horn god Cernonius, symbolizing nature and the cycle of life. Interesting. Literature. Deer Man, 7 Years in the Forest is a memoir by Geoffrey Delorme, who spent years living with deer in France. And a video game, a narrative game on Steam, explores a theme of human impact on nature, following a character named Jacob at times in a snowy forest. That's all I got on it.
Okay. So what is that thing called when it's like half horse, half man?
Centaur.
Why am I thinking Avatar? That's
because it's popular.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now you're gonna like this one. The Nanticoke River Monkey. A creature often reported in southern Delaware. It is described as a small, fast, and often mistaken for a large squirrel or a primate.
Monkeys in Delaware.
You know what I think that is?
Pukwudgie.
No, I think somebody had a pet or a pair of them.
And they got out.
Yeah.
Now, I know South Carolina has an island, Monkey Island,
Yeah.
off the coast,
Yeah.
from lab monkeys, and no one's allowed to ever go there.
And then off on the coast, we've had this research place down there that occasionally gets their monkeys escaping, and then they got to go hunt them down.
Mm-hmm.
I do have a little information on it. The Nanticoke River Monkey is a piece of local folklore and cryptozoology from the Delamarve Peninsula. It refers to stories and sightings of an elusive, unidentified, ape-like or monkey-like creature reported to roam the dense forests and swamps along the Nanticoke River in Sussex County. Descriptions similar to the legendary devil monkey or skunkbake reported in other parts of the eastern U.S. The Nanticoke River monkey is often described as a small, aggressive, or mischievous primate. Habitat. Sightings are located and localized tails usually come from the marshy, isolated woodlands and dense riverbanks that categorize the Nanticoke River Basin. The folklore is widely considered urban legend and a staple of regional Sussex County folklore. While there's no definite scientific evidence of local and amateur cryptozoologists frequently exchange tales of the creature's eerie vocalizations and shadowy movements.
You ever hear a gibbon monkey before?
Yeah.
Those are crazy, man.
Mm-hmm. And, I think that may have been it could have been a breeding pair that escaped or something, or somebody had a small zoo of some sort with a bunch of them in, and then they got too old to handle them and just thought, well, I'll just set them free and they'll die naturally, and they learn to adapt. I mean, there are monkeys in China that live in the snow.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. In Delaware's not, there's snow. It's up north.
They learn to adapt and to live in it,
Mm-hmm.
And I think there's a possibility that this is just a escaped pair of monkeys that have learned to adapt and live. All right, I got another one for you.
Okay.
I'm probably going to pronounce this wrong, so please forgive me, Native Americans. The Muwawi, a terrifying creature sometimes considered a cannibal monster associated with indigenous legends of the region. All right, what this says is, this is what I got on it. Appearance is described as a giant, sometimes 15 feet tall, with pale skin, often wearing a moose or deer skull mask. Natives represent a cold-hearted monster representing greed and sin, also stalking the forest. Transformation. A person can be cursed and turned into Muwawi, but in some tales, if the creature is treated with kindness and fed, it can be turned back into human. Countermeasures. Shamans were sometimes believed to be able to combat Muwawi by cutting out their heart. It's important to distinguish their folklore from other similar entities such as the Muwawi hot springs in Taiwan or the Mutwachi insect in India. You know what this sounds like? It's just a different name. A Wendigo.
Okay.
That's what I think it is. I think it's another version of a Wendigo. It's just a different name for in Native American population.
That makes sense.
All right, the next creature up. The prime hook swamp creature. A relatively unknown or obscure beast said to inhabit the Prime Hook National Wild Refuge.
This one looks sort of like a honey badger?
Yeah, that's one of the creatures that came up for it. I mean, there's no actual drawings or pictures, really. It's just, I just got assorted different pictures, and so it's a questionable of what it could be. Yeah. It may be a Bigfoot, could be a Gugway. It could be anything. I mean, I got one more, I think, after this that just...
Swamp monster.
Yeah, like Swamp Thing again. It's a question mark on what it may be. Nobody has a really definite idea. There was no pictures, no really good artist renditions. These are just some of the things that I found associated with it. So this is a big question mark for a creature.
Yeah.
And then, we've talked about the Jersey Devil last time. It's reportedly crossed into Delaware during a spate and sightings in 1909. So we're all familiar with that. And then the last but not least, we have the Headless Horseman of Welsh Track. Based in local folklore, this is a ghost of Charlie Miller, a soldier reportedly decapitated in a battle at Cooch's Bridge, according to legend. Now, let me see what I got. I got a little information, I think, on this one. Okay, we come down. Okay, the Headless Horseman of Welsh Tract is a famous Delaware ghost story that tied to the 1777 Battle of Cooch Bridge. According to local folklore, an American soldier named Charlie Miller was decapitated by a British cannonball, and his restless ghost still rides a horse along Welsh Tract Road seeking revenge. Legend and history. The incident during the American Revolutionary War, well, we talked about that. The aftermath is said that Miller still gallops through the woods and local roadways on foggy nights, fiercely seeking revenge against any redcoat he encounters. Evidence. Visitors and paranormal enthusiasts often point to the Welsh Tract Church, located just off of Route 896 in Newark, Delaware, to substantiate the lore. The west side of the historic meeting houses features and a patch of mismatched bricks where a British cannonball supposedly smashed a hole into the structure. And explaining the historic background, while the legend is a local staple, published church history made note that no volunteer named Charlie Miller is recorded as dying during the 1777 skirmish. So it's a nice folklore and a little, folksy thing to maybe draw in tourists and stuff. Similar to the one out of New York State with their Headless Horseman.
Yeah. And everybody's heard of the Headless Horseman. They would, when I lived up north, we'd go to Williamsburg, Virginia, and they would talk about it in Virginia as well.
So this is just not one of those cute little things to talk about. And then we'll just give an honorable mention to Bigfoot because he runs around Delaware as well. And like I say, he's in every state continentally that we know of. And so that's about all I got for tonight for episode 95 on the cryptids of Delaware. What you think, Ed?
Yeah. I mean, some of them believable, some of them maybe debunkable, but, all of them possible.
Definitely. All right, folks, we're going to leave you off with that. And for bonus episode of this week, we're going to discuss disclosure since President Trump has released 2 weeks now of UFO video and pictures leading up to his June 21st, I believe, speech that he'll talk about aliens. All right. Thanks, folks, for being with us.